All right, so hopefully the quality isn't too awful, but hey, my name is Lamel, and his AKA I go by, I don't know, a bunch of different things, but for the time being, this channel, I go by myself as LaMeliodas Sama, and I wanted to make this video because I feel like this is going to be a very important video milestone for my channel in the future. So, I decided to take it upon myself to make almost an introductory video. So when I look back in the past, because I do believe um, when it comes to this YouTube stuff, once I start really working hard and taking it seriously, I'm gonna be pretty huge. And this is not me just being conceited, but I just I just feel like I have an understanding of this platform. And besides all that, like I said, I just wanted to make this introductory video. Now, before I go on some huge tangent about myself and what I have intentions for this channel, I wanted to kind of tell a very important story. And the reason why I want to tell this story is because I think it will be very beneficial for a lot of people to hear. And I also think that it's very important for the basis of my channel. I think it's okay. I had something on the screen. Um, I think it's very important that people get a better understanding of myself. So once whatever happens, people just look back and be like, oh well, they watched this video and know this kind of not really started at all, but helped. Kind of like the building blocks, the pillars, the foundations. But what is this story? And like I said, I'm not. And before I tell the story, when I do tell it, it's not some like thing for like views or for subs or anything. Most likely reason why I'm not even putting it into the title. But like I said, the main reason why I tell this story is because it's going to be, like I said, to help build my character. It's going to help people who are going through similar stuff. It's going to help people understand that, like, even in the lows, you can still have the motivation to do what you need to do and make it. And I feel like that's really important. So, enough stalling. A little bit about myself before I start the story. I've been into content creation since literally as soon as people could be into content creation. I was always on YouTube. I don't think I've ever spent more time on a platform more than YouTube. That being said, into this story. A little bit about myself. I am very big on family. I care a lot about my family members. I do everything I can for my family members, and I'm gonna tell the story while kind of leaving some stuff out because just for the respect of specifically my mother and also my family. But one thing I will say is, once I graduated high school, um, which has been for a few years now, I found out that my grandmother, who is one of my most dearest family members and almost like a second mother to me, pretty much was a second mother to me, was diagnosed with cancer. Now, I don't know if at the time it was stage 4 cancer, but I will say up until this point, I know now she has had stage 4 cancer. So, that being said, a lot of my motivations in life, and especially in this content creation stuff, was that I wanted to pretty much blow up and really be an inspiration and like idol, and just something that my family can really look up to, and specifically even my grandmother always wanted to say, before she passed, she will say that, Lamel did what he needed to do and became what he wanted to be and all that kind of stuff. So that is just some of my motivations into even attempting to do this kind of stuff. Now, fast forward because I don't want to make this video too entirely long. I ended up living with my grandmother very recently for, I would say, the past 3 years up until this year. I think maybe March is when I officially stopped living with her. But I was living with my grandmother, like I said before, who had stage 3 cancer. And what ended up happening was, um, pretty much with her housing situation, she technically, even though she paid all her bills for the house and stuff, she technically didn't own the house. And not to say too much, but pretty much we were no longer going to be able to stay at the house we were currently living. We were getting forced out, and my fearful grandmother, even though we were being forced out legally, she wasn't required to move immediately, but like I said, she was very fearful of whatever repercussions came if she didn't move quickly, and we ended up leaving our house together. And during those 3 years that I was taking care of her, I saw her go through a lot of pain, a lot of issues, and you know, I myself wasn't always in the greatest mental space when I was there helping her, and I wish I could have did more. But like, just ignoring that fact, it ended up moving me here, which is New York. This is where I'm from. This is, I'll say, where I was born. I wasn't raised in New York, but I was born here, and ended up moving me here. Now I'm gonna go back and talk about my grandmother, but after I left her, some other stuff transpired in between, which I felt will also be important for this story. That stuff is being my grandfather. Now, I'd never had the most insane, greatest relationship with my grandfather. Not nearly as close as my grandmother, who, like I said, was pretty much a second mother to me. But I never had anywhere as close as a relationship with my grandfather. I will say the times that I did interact with him, they were very memorable, and I was very grateful, and they were very cool, but we just never were really all that close. That being said, he was also going through some stuff. He also had cancer. He was disabled, and it could barely, you know, survive on his own, if at all. It's literally impossible for him to survive on his own. So when I did move to New York, I decided to come live with him, and with the help of my mother, decided to attempt to take care of him and pretty much get him back into great health if that was possible. Now, from living with one sickly cancer person to another person, I kind of had the ideas on how to interact with them and how to help them the best I could, and we did. But life works in many different ways. One of those ways being that sometimes people won't give you the help you need. The medical systems we tried to work through weren't all that helpful. The the aid systems we tried to work through weren't all that helpful. Like I said, I'm not gonna say too much out of just like respect for my family, but pretty much we worked very hard to get this person, my grandfather, this help, and nobody helped us. The excuses we were hearing was that either there was just not enough help, the doctors were just off doing their own thing, they just weren't staffed enough to get him help consistently. Long story short, my grandfather's illness got worse than it already was, and he ended up passing away in, I want to say it was April, maybe mid to late April of this year. And that was my first time dealing with anything close to death related with somebody I'm close to. And then when I say close to, it was because I spent literally 2 or 3 months trying to keep this man alive. So that's how we ended up becoming close, even though we weren't really close beforehand. But that was my first, experience with dealing with somebody, close to me dying. And of course, it's going to be rough, but I think I handled it well enough, right? To keep moving, pushing along. But just side note, just like um I think, like I said before, just the fact that when we were trying to get this man some help, and we were making all these issues known to like these nurses, these doctors, and they really couldn't help us. It's just crazy how so many people can have these ailments that these doctors never heard of, these symptoms that doctors just don't know what they could lead to or what could possibly be. And it's like, yeah, these are medical professionals, but for some reason, every time there's a sickness, nobody knows what it is, nobody knows how to help it. A lot of times it feels like stuff is just out of your control and there's nothing you can do. You try to beg these people for help, they just sit there, say, hey, we don't have enough people to help you at the time, or they just literally do not know how to. And these are paid professionals. Now, I'm not going to knock on the system too hard, but this is just the life we live in, where the people who are sick the most either can't get their medical help because there's just not enough people, or they just don't know how to help them. So that's always crazy. And funny enough, and this is just a side note, but I think, and this is going to sound goofy or dumb to some people, but I think this is going to be important, helpful information to the go lead to something which will later on um, see later. But the reason why I do know the date, and I'll probably always remember the date, is because the day I ended up getting my PS5 just happened to be the same day my grandfather passed away. So I can always associate those two dates together. And you're like, oh, well, why are you telling us this, LaMeliodas, and why are you, like I said, it's gonna make more sense later on, but just understand, like, sometimes, good stuff may happen, sometimes bad stuff may happen, and it's just the way life goes. But my grandfather, yes, passed away earlier this year, and well, I thought I would be fine, which for the most part I was. Continued to, because I was pretty much working as his aide. So I decided, I was like, yo, let me not get myself down. Let me just continue to look for new work. Let me just continue to, just keep trugging, making content, keep working towards my goals in the future. Fast forward, and my grandmother, who, even with stage 4 cancer, even having the pains that she did, was doing all right. But like I told you guys, we did move early on this year, and how it usually works with people dealing with cancer and stuff is that they're going to need medical attention very often. And for cancer patients, it's usually chemotherapy. My grandma has been taking chemotherapy ever since, she's got cancer. There's been times where she's been off it, but that's just because of the pain, because we would never know until we get it. But sometimes it can just be kind of overwhelming for some people, so you might have to take breaks in between and all that kind of stuff. But my grandmother needed to take chemo, and what ended up happening was, like I said, this is the medical system we live in and we work with. But somehow during the moves, I don't know if it's because maybe she made the mistake, maybe somebody else made the mistake when it came to transferring her medical information over. But from the move to where we were and to move to where she went, she was not able to get the chemotherapy that she needed and the time that she needed. Well, if anybody know anything about stage 4 cancer, it spreads, and usually the chemotherapy helps with it not spreading. And of course, if you put two and two together, since for some reason nobody had her medical information, the chemotherapy or the not chemotherapy, the cancer did spread to multiple places. From what she told me, it was her back. From other people told me it was her lungs. Pretty much it just spread. So not only was she was forced, almost, just threatened out of her home, but during her move to her new place, they messed up her medical information and her cancer spread. So, of course, that led to her having more ailments than she did before. So much so that she ended up needing to do surgery on herself. Not on herself, but she ended up needing surgery to, help alleviate some of these issues that she were having. Lo and behold, this place where she had surgery ended up getting infected and making things a lot worse. And this resulted in her being hospitalized and pretty much being in a state where she could barely do anything, can't even talk to people anymore, can't even really respond to people, barely understand people. Only thing else was that she was in pain. So, and this is all have been happening recently. So recently, in fact, that my grandmother, who, like I said, is one of my closest family members, ended up passing away earlier today. And of course, that didn't sit well with me. But as you can see, or you've noticed, like I usually have contacts, but I'm wearing my glasses and I'm wearing a dress shirt, which isn't, as you can hopefully assume, isn't my normal attire. And this is just an off-track topic, but I had a job interview today, and I found out of my grandmother's passing an hour before my job interview, which, of course, granted, I kind of already knew this was happening before, so I kind of mentally prepared myself, so I was able to do the interview, I would say, successfully. But of course, having that in the air while also trying to get a job, does of course affect people. Okay, I'm getting Discord notifications, whatever. Hopefully that just doesn't continue. But pretty much, why am I saying this? When it comes to the PS5 and the job interview, I just wanted to put that out there because just know sometimes in life, a lot of great things happen to you. You get your PS5 that you always wanted, right? The console you always wanted to have fun with your friends, cool. You get a job opportunity, right? Help change your life around, help better yourself. But sometimes life also throws a lot of crappy stuff your way. But what people need to understand, that always in life there's going to be good with the bad. And usually how it kind of works is, which is the worst part, is usually no matter how good it gets, there'll always be something. And this is not me wishing anything upon people, but this is just how life will end up working. Naturally, how the greater the good, the greater the bad, the greater the bad, the greater the good. That being said, I'm saying this because just know and prepare yourself that sometimes you might be going through some great times in life and you might have some great moments, but just be prepared just in case if any of that bad stuff happens, and even vice versa. Maybe you're in a low point in your life and things are just not going your way, but you have to understand with that bad comes the good. If you just hold out, you just do what you need to do, I promise you, with all that bad stuff happening, there will be the good. And no matter how bad you got it going on right now, you're gonna have stuff that is good that matches up to it, and if not better. So that's the reason why I brought up the job interview. That's why I ended up bringing up the PS5. And sad stuff aside, like I said, I didn't tell these stories. Like I usually don't think it's the best idea to put your personal stuff out there on the internet and put the most personal um stuff out there. And it's just the kind of person I am. I'm very secure with myself. I think that I haven't told enough to offend anybody. I don't think I've told enough to warrant any issues. I just wanted to put that, like I said, out there just for people to understand my motivations, my thought process, my issues with just life in general. Like I said before, on how like flawed certain things, where it be education, medical systems, all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to really people to soak this in, so people understand that life is going to throw a lot of stuff at you and you have to be ready for it. And I think a lot of these situations, maybe I wasn't ready at the time, but I think have prepared me to be ready in the future, and I'm very grateful for them no matter how bad they are. That being said, depressing stories aside, getting to, like I said, who is LaMeliodas Sama? Now, I don't plan on expecting too many videos like this where I just go out blurting out my personal life and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I really just wanted to use that to help people the best way I can, so people will understand, like, people are going through the same stuff you go through. People need to understand that life, like I said, the good just comes with the bad just comes with the good, right? And just to show my motivations, to show that even though these two bad things did end up happening to me, I plan on still working towards my dreams and my goals. I still plan on working towards becoming a better person like my grandparents wanted me to be. And those were always some of my goals in the first place. Like I said before, it's just being somebody they can, be proud of, and my family to be proud of, and they can look up to, and take motivation from, all that kind of stuff. So like I said, on to the stuff. Who is LaMeliodas Sama, and what will I be doing here? Well, from what you guys seen already in my past YouTube videos, I am kind of versatile. I really try and just post what I feel like, right? Whether it be a discussion video about who the hell knows what, or whether it be a gaming video on whatever game I'm enjoying at the time, I just want my channel to, if I ever do blow up, for it to be specifically blown up because it's me. It's not because I was writing the most popular game at the time, and it's not because I'm writing most popular topic or whatever it is. I just wanted to make whatever I post, I know that I'm happy with the content, that it's something that I'm gonna be happy doing forever, how long I feel like doing this, right? And if I ever do blow up, that's what's going to be about. Well, what is that specifically? What can we be looking for into? Well, like I said before, I'm a very talkative person, so I'm going to be making a lot of discussion videos. For the main part, I will say, if I did have to base one thing the channel is most likely going to be evolved around, it's probably going to be anime. Anime is usually always my number one. Like, it's been such a key part in my life, and it's been sources of entertainment, inspiration, motivation, all that kind of stuff. And if I did specifically just want to blow up off of one thing, I would probably choose anime. But I'm also into sports, I'm also into gaming, I'm also into music, I'm also into different kind of things. So like I said, yeah, you might see mainly anime videos, you might see some gaming videos, but do expect to see some sports videos from time to time. And do expect to see some maybe not music videos, but like videos evolved around music, or main focal point being music and all that kind of stuff. So also even gaming, like I plan on taking competitive fighting games, maybe potentially Pokemon, seriously at some point in my life, in the foreseeable future for sure. So there's a good chance you will see this channel evolve multiple times. Next year it could be just strictly me performing in FGC tournaments, And the year after that, it could just me be performing in VG3 tournaments. Who really knows? It's whatever life just throws at me. That being said, I don't really have much else left to say. I don't want to edit this video. I want to be natural. I want it to be, like I said, just my story. I just want to be honest. I just wanted people to understand the situation I'm going through. And for those people who might be going through similar things, or like I said, people who haven't even gone through stuff yet, but need motivation to understand that a lot of bad stuff will happen in your life. That is just life. Life will throw a lot of different obstacles at you, but you gotta stay motivated. You gotta stay on track. You gotta keep working towards your goals, whatever that may be. And also, that's another huge thing. No matter what people say, no matter what your goal is, no matter how outlandish you think it is, just keep working towards it, because that to me is the true purpose of life, is not only just to create life, but it's just to live it, and live it the way you want to, how you want to, and doing what you want to, right? And I think a lot of people stray away from that, whether it's because people told them otherwise, or it's just the fact that they're just demotivated because of all the negative stuff that's been going on in their life, right? Or they just maybe even haven't found that thing to even devote themselves to. Don't stop looking. Just keep working towards that. So this is what I usually say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, but like I said, I hopefully I got my point across. I don't want this to make me come off as like some super nice motivational speaker guy. Like, like I'm going to be giving my advice and my thoughts and my opinions on trying to be helpful, at least from time to time. But this was, for me, I think I need to just make this video to help myself become a better person. Sometimes it can be very toxic. Sometimes it can be very negative. Sometimes it can be very helpful. Sometimes it can be very, kind. But that's, like I said, that's just human nature. That's just being human. And I want to make this video so, like I said, when I do, because it is a win, and when I do blow up, this video can be looked back and shown to people as, this is how he started his, path. This is where it all started. This is where, LaMeliodas Sama became, LaMeliodas Sama, right? So, and I really kind of always want, to me personally look back on this video to keep myself accountable, and for other people to look at this video and maybe even though they hold me accountable, be like, hey Lamel, like, okay, you've been posting all these videos, I'm enjoying them, oh, by the way, always post comments, because I always love the comments. I think comments out of all the time I've been watching YouTube has been some of the greatest stuff on YouTube. So always post comments, always interact with me as soon as you possible. If you need advice, of course, I'm always there. If you need anything, like I said, I'm going to be one of those content creators who, like I said, I'm going to be very authentic. So wherever's the beer, I just want to give this platform and the end of the platform and go on the best version of me, and hopefully wherever that leads to, I can make a path where that's great, But that's about it. I'm not adding this. I'm not making a thumbnail. I'm just gonna post it, and it's out there, and it's on the internet. So, I'm planning on making, like I said, gaming videos soon, and even videos which are gonna be crazy. That like I'm gonna post this video and post like wild stuff after, but that's just me. I'm just gonna keep being me, and that's just what it is. But just anime video topics in general, just gonna be the most everything. But like I said, man, just keep. I've been stalling this for way too long. Just stay positive, guys. Just keep working, and just know, like I said, it always gets better. So. Also, I did say this earlier, but I usually, if you do see me in videos, first of all, will not be wearing a dress shirt. I usually always wear it. I don't know, either wear hoodies or wear some kind of shirt, whatever. And then my glasses, I don't know. I usually wear contacts, but I didn't feel like taking off my glasses just to put in context for a video or whatever. But and then. Yeah, I see the top of my head. Like, this is just my natural hair. I usually do stuff, so sometimes I wash it. I might braid, like put in a ponytail or whatever. But this is what you get. This is what they got. I didn't really care. I just wanted to make this video. Like I said, I've been stalling for literally way too long, so I have to end this video. But just stay happy, stay healthy, guys. That's all it is.